I don't know
Okay, repeat the first part again. To hold on to my individuality, I need my thoughts,
yes,
and to be free is to let go of this mind.
yes. If I see that when I
Yeah.
let go of this mind,
Yes,
then there is space, there is freedom,
yes,
there is peace.
yes.
While there is some very strong force, it comes as if
Huh? What?
still I want to experience life as an individual being, not
Yes,
as a
yes,
unassociated universal.
yes, yes,
So like I see that both these choices are there,
yes,
and that's why I like that quote of yours very much when you said that freedom and bondage can't be together,
yes,
and openness and closeness can't be together. And I realized that what I was trying to do is trying to managing,
yes, yes,
trying to put both
yes,
of them together
yeah,
so that I can experience life as an individual
yes,
also, and at the same time I can be free also.
yes,
And there seems to be a constant tug war between individual existence and between letting go,
yes.
and
That's
it
a good
seems to be a
point. That's a
continuous
good point.
struggle.
We can speak about it for a minute. See, everyone, in some way or the other, as we are letting go of this individuality, has experienced this to a smaller or to a greater extent. Some have said, okay, I want freedom, but please don't make me a beggar on the street. You see? They said, okay, give me the Janaka style enlightenment of freedom. I want to be the ruler of my kingdom. I feel I can do it. Like that. But don't take away my material comfort. Some have said, I want freedom, but this aspect of my life, which is my relationships, please don't change that. Let me keep that. Some have said for any different aspect which we can be personally attached to, as we are moving towards the letting go, it becomes clearer and clearer what that is that we are most attached to. So, and that can always seem to be something that we want to carry through. You see? Now, this is a subtle point, and I see in your case also it creates some confusion sometimes. You see, so the subtle point is that as you find yourself without attributes, you will see that in reality you are not carrying any of this. You see? So when it is said that not a blade of grass will be carried into this door of freedom, this is what it means. As listen, so as the reality of what I am, as the witness of presence, and as unassociated presence itself, is the truth of my existence, and I see this to be the unchanging, unwavering truths. See? So this is what it means that we cross this door of freedom with nothing, not even a blade of grass, because being comes to this sense of being unassociated. You see? Now, what can be confusing sometimes is that the play in the apparent life of such a one, for some there can be this which still remains, for some there can be this aspect which still remains. For here, for example, my marital relationship and this house and my investments and all these things still remain. You see? For some, it can feel like the entire thing, they become a fakir, just begging for food and going. For some, it might feel like something else remains, something else is not there. Now, nobody can predict how that aspect of the outward functioning will play. You see? Now, the mind can see that and say that I want to pick and choose. And between all these various expressions, this is what the type of freedom that I want. You see? But as we are crossing the door then even this will be dropped. There will come a point where if it is really strong, we will be on our hands and knees saying, whatever you want to take, take. I want nothing but you. It'll come like that. And it is that surrender, this internal surrender, which is important. Because that means that that surrender is true. That means that there is devotion and trust. If you still say, yes, yes, you manage 90% of it, but 10% of it I still want to hold on to. You see? Because what are we playing? We're playing as if we are a separate individual and we are making a deal with God. Isn't it? That is saying, okay, this aspect I don't want to let go of. I want to, the rest you can do whatever you want with. So even as we come more and more into satsang, into our inquiry, into devotion and love, you will find that it will be so easy for us to say, whatever be thy will. If you feel that this moment is the end of this worldly existence in this life of this Ananta, if that be thy will, let thy will be done. You see? So, and we don't have to force this, we don't have to push ourselves to make these kind of prayers. Just you will find them sprouting organically as you continue to stay in your contemplations, in your inquiry, in your marinating in the presence of satsang. Then you will one day laugh at all of these things that you wanted to grasp onto strongly. Not laugh in a derisive way, but laugh at how it could have played out, that these things seemed so strong to me, but now they just seem so light. Like, just like your classmate from college had come the other day, and he was saying that there was one term which you didn't do so well and things. So at that time it might have seemed strong, but that's one term, no, in college exams. So I don't know what you felt at that time, but I'm just presuming that if it was me, I would have felt strong at that point of time that I've not done so well in these exams. You see, but now when you look back, you see life went okay. Everything is fine. You see, just in the same way, you will find that all these current seeming challenges which seem strong in our attachments which seem strong, when you look back, as you get lighter and lighter from all of these, they will just seem like, oh, I was so concerned about this, but look, it worked out fine.
This one point I wanted to mention, that I see the importance of freedom and the value of it also.
Yeah.
But also it is, I recognize that the individual dreams and desires are very precious. And like,
so as long as they seem to have meaning, they seem to have relevance, you're free to play with them. Doesn't mean you have to pick one or the other. It just it can feel like, okay, this one still feel like it has some potential for joy and meaning and relevance. You're free to play with that. It is for those who come and say that I don't want anything at all. I only want to see the truth of who I am and I want to be free. For them, I'll say, okay, you drop everything, nothing. It is just only a thought. If you say that this aspect of me still has some meaning, has some relevance, I want to play with it for some time, nothing can stop you.
I also see that, like earlier it used to happen that with all of us, that even if we are picking up thousands of thoughts per day, it wouldn't be abnormal. But now it feels like even if I pick up very few things and identify, then it just starts causing a lot of suffering.
Yeah.
And so like this struggle between living a life as an individual or dropping off the...
You see, but if that is organically happening for you, that means you're coming to the dropping of these things, you see, because that which makes you suffer constantly, you will not keep picking up. If by picking up of thoughts you come to a lot of suffering immediately, then you will not keep picking up the hot potato again and again, isn't it?